Well, it's official. We now have a movie starring Batman, Medea, and Barney Stinson. So Gone Girl is directed by David Fincher, who gave us such classics as Seven, Fight Club, Panic Room, The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, The Social Network, and most recently, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Oh yeah, and he directed that too, but we're not going to hold that against him. So Gone Girl, it is based off of a novel. It is starring Ben Affleck and Rosamund Pike. It is about a man whose wife gone missing, the mystery behind it, the press and the media's view of him. The beginning of this movie, you feel sorry for this guy, but then as the movie goes along, it reveals details about him and his wife's relationship. You start to wonder, did he do it? Is he involved in his wife's disappearance? Is he not involved? Where the hell is she? Then by the second act, the movie just took some twists and turns that just blew my mind. I'm not going to spoil those twists and turns because I really want you to experience the movie the way I experienced it. But I will profess that this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I absolutely love this movie, and I'm going to give some specific reasons of why I was really digging this movie. When I first heard about this movie, I saw the trailer for it, and I thought, it looks pretty good. I was debating on whether or not I was going to see this movie or not, but then I saw that someone was in this movie, and so that got me curious about his performance in the movie. I'm going to talk more about him later on in this review, but because he was in it, that got me interested. A big shout out to the marketing campaign behind this movie because I just knew the initial plot of the movie, but I didn't know nothing else about the movie. I never even read the book either. I went into this movie not knowing what was going to happen, and I'm glad I didn't. Now, David Fincher, generally, I'm not a huge fan of him, but I generally do like his movies, though. Like, I love the movies The Curious Case of Benjamin Button and Panic Room, which is one of my favorite thrillers of all time. The Social Network and The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, wasn't a huge fan of it. I do love the movie Fight Club, but then again, everybody and their daddy loves Fight Club, so who doesn't like Fight Club? To my everlasting shame, I had never seen Seven, but now I'm curious to go watch it. After realizing the body of work David Fincher has, it got me curious about this movie. This movie was the epitome of what a movie-going experience should be. This movie just got darker and darker and darker and took twists and turns that I really wasn't saw coming, and by the end of it, it just had me in awe of, wow. I'm just saying, like, throughout this movie, I wasn't sure who to root for. Generally speaking, I can enjoy a simple mystery movie that just goes to A to Z, but I can appreciate mystery movies that just take me to point A to point B to point C to point D to points and beyond. I like it when a movie does that because it makes the movie more interesting. I felt like this movie was also a social commentary on how we perceive the news in the media and how we're able to make ourselves think that something is factual all because we saw it on the internet or the TV. It's so easy to take someone that we've never met and make them out to be something that they're not. I just really love the way they illustrated that. And now for the cast. The two main leads, Ben Affleck, he did a good job in this movie, but the real MVP of this movie goes to Rosamund Pike. Holy crap, she stole the entire movie for me. And I can already tell she's going to get an Oscar nomination for this movie. All the supporting cast in this movie did a really good job too, like the woman that plays Ben Affleck's twin sister, she added some much needed comedy relief, and the woman that plays the detective that's investigating Ben Affleck's wife's disappearance. The two casting choices that I was skeptical about, and this is the guy that I was talking about that got me curious about this movie, and that is Tyler Perry's character. I'm going to say right off the bat, A, if you're a Tyler Perry fan, B, if you're a Tyler Perry fan that hasn't been that impressed with all his recent stuff, or C, if you're not a Tyler Perry fan at all, I'm telling you, this is the best thing Tyler Perry has ever been in. Tyler Perry plays Ben Affleck's lawyer in the movie. This movie comes to show that if given the right role and in the right movie, Tyler Perry can be a very charismatic person. And I thought this movie really showed that because up until this point, Tyler Perry, he's just been Medea, he had a small role in Star Trek, and he tried to be Alex Cross. And in that film, it just felt like Tyler Perry was just going through the motions. See, he just needed to be with people that are willing to work with him and show him how to be all he can be and show him how to hone his craft as a filmmaker and an actor. And God knows, I hope between David Fincher and Ben Affleck, two top-notch directors, I hope Tyler Perry took some notes while he was on the set of Gone Girl. The other role that I was skeptical about was Neil Patrick Harris's character. Now, he wasn't in the movie as much, but I gotta say, he was kind of the wink link. Now granted, nothing against Neil Patrick Harris, I think he's very talented and he was on one of my favorite shows, How I Met Your Mother. But in this film, it just felt like he was just a more creepier Barney Stinson. And that right there is one of my negatives about this film. My second negative, I did feel like the movie was kind of too long. Like there's a section in the middle of the movie that I felt they could have cut down a little bit. But that's okay because I really did like the way the movie ended, because by the time the movie ended, I was like, oh, wait, that's it? Oh, shit, that's it? Okay. Like, I could have watched at least 10 more minutes of that. And that's what I liked about this movie. Like, a movie that is so long, but by the time it ends, you're like, I could have watched at least 10 more minutes of that. So good job, David Fincher, for doing that. But those are my only two negatives about this movie. Otherwise, this is a near flawless movie. I absolutely love this movie. It was well crafted. No one did a shit job playing their parts in this movie. I'm going to give Gone Girl an A+ for full price. That's it for the day. You like what you see? Subscribe to this channel, subscribe to my other channel. The links are in the description below. And be sure to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr. And be sure to check out my rundown videos and my website. Peace.